he kind of dominated. Now, again, you see there, Mitchell looking at the referee. Defend yourself at all times. This is going to be very interesting. This is what we're going to see what Mitchell's made of.
Well, his dad, Clifton, former pro and heavyweight himself back in the day, with a sturdy talking to. There was no stool, there was no rest at all. Stood in his corner for the entire minute, and now he's asked to go back at it.
I think that's what we call tough love. He hasn't got his composure back yet. He needs to see something to give him confidence because he's not composed, whereas John looks strong. Oh, sorry, Simon looks strong. I keep getting him mixed up with his brother.
And he's desperate to get on with the action, O'Donnell, as well. He's wrestling himself clear to unleash some more fury.
Mitchell's going to get worked over here if he's not careful now. Simon looks strong. He's got the bit between his teeth here.
I'll tell you, it's like the glitterati of the building trader here tonight. They're all cheering on Simon O'Donnell. Don't need a new house, do you, Adam?
Not tonight.
I tell you what, though, it's not the sort of fight that you'd necessarily put your house on it in betting terms.
Not at this moment in time. It's Mitchell's left hand that's going to, if anything, going to give him some hope in this fight. That left hand that goes straight and sometimes whips it up, that is landing on Simon. But other than that shot, Simon definitely seems to have more to his repertoire.
And if he can just increase the heat on young Ty Mitchell, remember he's not even 21 yet, as they exchange punches close up.
Now he tried that left uppercut there and Simon made him miss quite comfortably. This is where Simon can take over the fight if he just keeps hold.
He takes another few lefts though as they trade up close. And it looks as though O'Donnell's walking out.
There's our answer right there. That's what Mitchell's made of. He has plenty of fight in him. This kid can fight, and we now have a genuine fight on our hands.
And there's a right hook from Mitchell, who is standing his ground and swinging away, and the crowd are on their feet.
And O'Donnell's hurt. O'Donnell's quite heavily dazed here. He's still applying himself, but there's no doubt he's hurt. Now, Mitchell's got heart. Has he got the smarts?
Now, there are often roller coasters on these hard knock promotions. So often the local Bethnal Green throws up stingers that twist one way and t'other, and I think, folks, we've got another one on our hands.
I'm still going to edge towards O'Donnell here in this round.
Tight one, really, really tight. He looks tired, Mitchell.
Yeah, and O'Donnell's been more consistent. You know, he was in a whole heap of trouble, but he's consistently applying himself on Mitchell. Not just with his energy, but with his punches as well.
He's got that.
And he's taking this to the street on Mitchell.
Just slightly lazy up close, Mitchell, Adam, as well. He gives him. He's not covering up. He's not tying up, and he's giving O'Donnell the opportunity. Is he taking that opportunity?
I think so, but let's for 1 second here, not try and be too clever. Again, what a fight we have on our hands here. I think I now have O'Donnell 1 point up. He lost the first 10-8, but he's won the subsequent 3 rounds. Even though that one was quite rocky, we have a fight on our hands here. But the question for me is, can Mitchell find an answer to deal with O'Donnell? Because again, O'Donnell is the one that overall is more in control.
An absolute barnstormer, isn't it? He's twisted one way in this and knocked down in the face for Mitchell. O'Donnell stormed back, composed, to look professional, looked like he'd got his smarts together in the second. Went one way and t'other in the third. What next?
Well, I think we can expect much of the same. Now it's going to come down to condition. I think we know that O'Donnell's going to be in great condition. There's no doubt about that. Jim McDonnell will never let a fighter in the ring without him being in tip-top condition. So, Mitchell's going to be forced to work here.
You can be absolutely sure that he's been drilled and drilled, O'Donnell, up hills and pounding the roads. He's lashing in sweat as well in those Irish emerald green trunks, and then again he's allowed the opportunity to just offload freely and cheaply up close.
Yeah, those body shots are an investment. In the next round and a round after, those body shots start to take their toll.
Certainly most of that bodywork has come from Simon O'Donnell. And Ty Mitchell happy to lean back on the ropes there briefly.
Yeah, Mitchell's asset is the fact that he's an awkward long arm southpaw, but like O'Donnell has seen that many times before, so he has the answer to it.
Oh, big right, and he's over, he's in trouble.
This fight's over. This fight has to be over. I don't know if he's going to recover from that.
Well,
He looks finished to me.
Ty Mitchell back on his feet. Jeff Hines has a real
It's over.
The towels come in. He was in real trouble. He's on unsteady legs still. And it's an amazing turnaround win for Simon O'Donnell.
Yeah, he knew too much for Mitchell. Now Mitchell can take a lot from that defeat if he looks at it the right way. I know this is bitter. O'Donnell just knew too much and he came through a rocky patch, but he stayed with his discipline after a horrendous first round, an unfortunate first round. So full marks to Simon O'Donnell, a difficult fight, and he dealt with it very well.
Well, he got off to the worst possible start for Simon O'Donnell. He was down and on his backside untidily in the first. Looked like he had a foothold in the second. He was up for grabs in the third, a left and then a quick right, and Ty Mitchell was sent scurrying. His father threw in the towel as Jeff Hines was looking on, and as disconsolate as he is, Ty Mitchell will hopefully come again. It's Simon O'Donnell though, much to the delight of the huge Irish contingent, who's celebrating a win, and a stoppage win at that.
Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for two tremendous hard knocks warriors. Ladies and gentlemen, after 1 minute and 17 seconds of round 5, your referee Jeff Hines has stopped this contest. Your winner from Galway Island, the Fighting Irish, Simon O'Donnell.
Well, it's Simon O'Donnell, the slick Fighting Irish. In the end, Adam, it wasn't so much of a slicks tonight that was required, it was all about fighting Irish heart.
Well, he had to show plenty of heart because he got hurt, but it was his technique and his skill that was making those shots land. These two guys, I think, will always give great entertainment when they're matched. Just tonight, Simon knew too much. Simon knew too much for Mitchell.
Knew too much, got the job done, and I think we'll shortly hear from the winning fighter, cheered on tonight by a huge Irish support. They're the ones that are celebrating, and Simon O'Donnell delighted ringside with Andy.
Simon O'Donnell, after the way round 1 went in there, you went down fairly heavily. You took some amazing shots in round 3 and 4. How did you win that one?
I don't know, he was trying to win. I don't know. I just experience. I trained really hard. Hard work pays off. Kept a cool head. Great boxer. Kind of young, he's only 20, got a big future. And hard work, dedication, it pays off.
When you went down in round 1, was it a genuine knockdown, was it a slip?
It was off balance, but it was a punch, so it was a standing count.
When Ty did catch you in round 3 and at the start of 5, he seemed to connect with huge shots. Were you rocked?
And they were flukes. Now when he's talking, he did. He's a good puncher, a good kid, got a big future, and I wasn't hurt. I wasn't in trouble, but he did rock me, and I sparred James to go almost every day. Dion Jamaya, the light heavyweight ABA champion, got great sparring for this fight, so I was in great shape.
Just tell me about that stoppage. How did you remember it?
I caught him. He was hurt. He went against the corner, and I don't know. I think he was a bit tired. He felt the pace and just the experience and the punches. It just overwhelmed him.
Do you think his dad Clifton made the right call to throw the towel? I know the referee stopped it. His dad did throw the towel. Was that right to stop the contest there?
He looked very tired. I thought he could have got up if he really wanted to, but I thought he felt he's just going to take more pressure, more punishment. But he put up a great fight, so he's nothing to be ashamed of. He's 20. That was his 5th fight. Got a big future if he trains hard, you know.
Simon, we hope you have a big fight, big future too. We look forward to seeing you in action again. Well done. Gary Logan is with me ringside. Gary, you challenged for British title honours at welterweight, at light mid. What did you make of what you just saw in there? That was an unbelievable contest.
It was unbelievable. Both of them came to fight. That fight was about ability and most of all experience. Simon has got immense experience. This man has boxed twice at the Blue Horizon in Philadelphia, twice at Madison Square Garden, and he's probably, in the amount of time that he's spent in the States, he's been around a wealth of experience, and that is what saw him through the tough times during that contest.
Obviously, Simon O'Donnell, a proud Irishman, but he has boxed in an England vest before. Where do you see him in the grand scheme of British middleweights? We talk about the Darren Barkers, the Matt Macklins, Martin Murray. You'd think possibly a step too far right now?
Just about. First of all, I'd love to give another hand to Ty as well. I mean, he boxed an amazing fight. He's got a lot of ability, and he can come again. But Simon is not far off a British title shot. There's no doubt about that. He's got ability. He showed how toughness. He showed how tough he is. He stayed in the eye of the hurricane. That's what I call it. When shots are raining upon you, the crowd are going crazy, and he just stayed composed, and that really did impress me. And with somebody like Murray, he would have to be that composed, because Murray's a very difficult guy. He's very seasoned. He's got great ability, and that would be a great fight somewhere down the line.
So, Gary, we are 2 fights down now on our first Hard Knocks show live on Premier Sports. 2 fights to go. What have you made of the Hard Knocks philosophy? Everything should be 50-50. Have you appreciated what you've seen tonight?
If I was a paying punter, I'd have a really big smile on my face. This is what punters come for. They want 50-50 contests, fights that can go either way. There is no house favourite. It sort of seemed that Ty had as much supporters as Simon did at times. It was just fantastic. The atmosphere is brilliant. I wish I'd boxed in an atmosphere like this many years ago.
Well, hopefully we are conveying the atmosphere here inside your call to you at home on Premier Sports TV. When we come back after this short break, we will see the living legend, Choi Tseveenpurev. Well, welcome back to Your Call for This is Hard Knocks, first ever professional show here on Premier Sports. 2 fights down, 2 to go. The crowd here at Your Call have been electric so far. If you want to get involved at home, don't forget we are interactive. You can get involved with us on Twitter. At Andy Kerr TV is the Twitter address. We're also following the boxing websites. But next up, we will see the legend that is Choi Tseveenpurev.
Turning 40 this week and 10 years into his career in England, Choi comes into this fight on the back of the best performance of his career, defeating former IBO world champion Action Jackson Asiku. Long avoided, he's finally been given the platform to achieve his goals at Hard Knocks, and the Mongolian warrior is happy to be celebrating his milestone birthday, doing what he was born to do.
I have 2 homes now, Mongolia and Yoko. That's I believe. It feels great, you know. Plenty, you know, hundreds of people just cheering for me, Choi, you know. Against, you know, some half population is there, crowd is cheering for me, and the other ones cheering for Asiku.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, making his way to the ring from Riga in Latvia, Janis Puksins.
Well, the strains of Johnny Cash for Janis Puksins, who's a late substitute after Thai Bandung Katowice Jim was pulled out with visa issues just a few days ago. He's a late replacement, and he is bang up against it against Choi Tseveenpurev. He's got a massive following here at the York Hall Bethnal Green, and the Riga man, short on experience. Let's hope his super featherweight might just help him out this evening, because Choi is relentless.
And now, please put your hands together and welcome the Mongolian warrior, Choi Tseveenpurev.
Rousing York Hall welcome once again for Choi Tseveenpurev. Quite simply, it's one word, it's Choi. And he has developed cult status here in East London. Followers right across the UK in truth. Big star back home where he is boundless in his charity work for homeless children in Mongolia. A man from Ulaanbaatar in his usual homeland headdress is coming to the place where he feels most at home, and that is the ring here at the York Hall Bethnal Green. Well, Adam Booth, whenever this guy fights, he has middle-aged men across the country looking down at their midriffs and thinking, perhaps we should get to the gym.
Choi is one of these fighters that just has natural strength. You cannot give somebody the innate strength that somebody like Choi has, but he is probably one of the most avoided feathers, stroke super feathers, I would say, in world boxing, because nobody wants to fight him. He is that much of a handful.
Well, he's been out rarely, but when he is out, he always entertains, and he usually wins.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is a featherweight bout scheduled for 10 3-minute rounds, sponsored by Duck Sweet. Please welcome, first of all, in the red corner, wearing red with blue trim. He weighed 9 stone and 6 ounces at yesterday's weigh-in, representing Riga in Latvia, Janis Puksins. And across the ring in the blue corner, wearing blue with red trim, he also weighed 9 stone 6 ounces, representing Ulaanbaatar in Mongolia, and a professional record of 31 wins, 5 defeats, the reigning WBU featherweight champion of the world,
extraordinary scenes. What an atmosphere. And Choi really
Your referee for
disappoints.
this contest is Mr. Ian John Lewis.
I'm surprised because so many fighters have had so much support. I didn't realise that you could get that many people in the York Hall.
Ian John Lewis it is who referees this one. He's calling Janis Puksins in. He's only had 4 fights, Puksins, but he did go the distance with young Swansea man Ricky Owen, who's unbeaten, and he is a natural super feather.
The referee.
I'm still not sure that he knows what he's
Keep the punches up. When I shout break, you break clean. And remember, defend yourself at all times. Shake hands.
Well, he's about to find out what he's in for. The relentless Mongol warrior Choi, trying to get himself back in business. And after that outstanding Fight of the Year contender win over Jackson Asiku, he's perhaps just a step or two away from a world title challenge of sorts.
Choi just showing a bit of patience right at the start of the 6th round. He's a 12-round fighter, so he's going to be patient right at the start.
Lead left hook, and what he's always been good at, and look how muscled and strong he is. You should see his legs. Natural horseman as well, Choi, but he always works the body.
When you talk about world-class strength, Choi epitomises that. As a fighter, he is world-class strong.
Well, you'll remember he rampaged all over Derry Matthews a few years ago. Back in 2008, that was for the WBU title. A title he's never defended because of that organisation's various wranglings. But although Matthews managed to overcome him, a real up and down swinger and prize fighter, it really was the Asiku win that confirmed Choi was back on target.
And also in prize fighter, it's 3 3-minute rounds, it's a sprint, and a 12-round fighter like Choi probably wouldn't appreciate that type of competition.
I always like to see Choi when he's on his toes and he's got that slightly jerky, menacing motion as well. You fancy that there's an assault coming from just about any moment.
A hard thing to fight as well, because you never know where the distance is, because he's constantly changing the distance.
Southpaw, as you can see, Janis Puksins, as we said, did go the distance with the unbeaten Welshman Ricky Owen, who would have been in the prizefighter final, of course, having beaten Jamie Arthur. He had to withdraw from that final because of a cut, and he's on the up and up. And previously won the distance with John Fernandez as well. And he's down. He's in trouble.
I don't know if he's going to recover from that.
Choi's already celebrating in the away corner.
He's just about to go, as Gary said, right into the middle of the hurricane.
And straight back down to business, Choi. And a swinging right hook clipped Puksins on the top of the head.
That was a heavy shot on his head there as well. Choi turned right through with that one.
There cannot be many scarier places to be than this right now.
I take my hand up to Puksins here. He stood up. He looked very trembly after that first knockdown, and I don't know at the moment if he knows what's carrying him through this round.
He's managed to escape out of that round as well, despite apparently fighting through the mist of the final minute or so.
But at the moment, Choi knows exactly what's going on, and I'm not too sure that Puksins does.
Yeah, ice pack on the back of the neck. There's a body shot that started it off, as so often is the case with Choi.
There it was, the right hand.
Big right hand over the top as the gloves came down.
So you see here, he's opening, he's trying to force through the kid's defence, compose himself and picked a shot. I mean, the kid really made a silly mistake there because he was drifting back and prodded his left hand out, and so unfortunately he got punished for it, because Choi is a class operator.
Well, to be fair, that the Hard Knocks mantra is 50-50, and on paper the original bout and rival Choi was set to face was an intriguing looking tie, but when he didn't turn up just days before, the agents were sent scurrying around to find alternatives. Plenty of names put on the table, plenty of money, I can tell you, offered to one or two British promoters for their fighters. Plenty of that turned down, unsurprisingly.
Choi's not getting caught as he's coming in either. He's very cute at how he sort of bounces into range and just makes little movements where you think he's there and then he just disappears. And then behind it comes some heavy shots. So he's doing a really good little job.
And as ever, tend to talk about Choi's strength, but there is craft and artistry that goes with it too.
Yeah, his strength kind of belies everything else because it overshadows it when you look at him. It just his physical appearance kind of overshadows everything else he does. But there's a really nice, neat little combination with narrow uppercuts.
So Choi and poor Puksins is almost in the same spot he was before. That was a big left hook. I don't think that was a knockdown. I think Ian John Lewis is right.
I think Puksins was happy to have a bit of a respite there. I'm not too sure this is going to go much further now.
Now Choi's having it all his own way.
I made a pretty obvious statement there by the looks of it. It's showing some bravery just to stay in there.
Getting hard now for Puksins. And as ever, Choi's relentless, and he's not giving him any sort of respite at all.
I think Ian's got to look at this now.
He's waved it off, rightly too. Puksins gave it a go. He tried hard, but he was simply outclassed, out-tough, and Choi was too good.
Yep, one-sided. Entertaining, but one-sided.
Down once in the first, down again in the second. Ian Baines, Spencer Foon's co-promoter, on hand to welcome Choi back to the victorious corner. Shame that the tie didn't turn out, these issues, and that would have been a really interesting scrap, particularly after what was an outstanding bout against Jackson Isiku. But professionalism's got to be the watchword, Adam, and Choi did what he had to do.
He did what he had to do. He punched through the kid's guard, he didn't get caught, and he picked shots to stop him. And he, like I said, he did what he had to do. Again, another kid that Puksins just did not know what he was letting himself in for, stepping in the ring tonight. I understand from Spencer's perspective, having promoted myself, how difficult it can be sometimes with these opponents pulling out.
Injury, late call-ups, this time it was visa issues, but let's get the result and announcement.
After 1 minute 46 seconds on round 2, your referee Ian John Lewis has stopped the contest. Janis Puksins in no fit state to continue, therefore your winner, the Mongolian warrior Choi Tseveenpurev.
It's the Mongolian fans who are celebrating once again another Your Call win.
Pro has just turned 14 years old. Alright? So we want to sing happy birthday to Choi. Run the track. Come on everybody. A bit louder. He's 40, he's still going.
Well, the fans have just sung happy birthday to Choi. He was 40 yesterday, can you believe? Adam, the world of boxing, it seems to be the country for old men at the moment, with Bernard Hopkins, Sergio Martinez. Add Choi Tseveenpurev to that list as well.
I want to see his birth certificate. You can't look at that man and believe for 1 second he's 40 years old.
Well, there is outside talk, outside chat that maybe Billy Dib, IBF champion, might be on the radar. 1 or 2 possibilities for Choi, who in advancing years is getting the job done. Andy?
Choi, 40 years old, You don't look it.
Yeah, I feel it. I feel like 25.
Come on, Choi.
And because my fans cheering me, that make me younger, stronger. Hit the world one day. I hope soon.
Choi, your promoter, Tseveenpurev, has continually banged the drum and said he wants to get you one last title shot. Do you still feel well enough in yourself for one last big title shot?
Yes, I want only one last chance. That's who is the Americans. I won't pick them out. Anybody who is the best name in the world, I show you. American, Mexican, who is the world champion? Choi is here. Choi is waiting for 10 years. 10 years. I can't wait any more time.
Spencer, you've said for as long as I've known you, you could get this man his one last shot. Realistically, what would you like to do with Choi? 40 years old, doesn't look a day over 21, to be fair to him.
Listen, let's be real. The opponent was a gift to Choi as his birthday. We've got a big announcement on Monday. We've got something big. We're working with good people. I mean, we've got some good guys at Yo Golf Travel and MJ Entertainment that's helping us. So we're gonna do something really, really big. He's a young man. Look at this. Gary Logan's the same age as him, right? And he looks younger than Gary Logan. That means something to me.
Choi, well done tonight. We look forward to seeing you in action again.
Okay, thanks all my fans. I know you can't wait any more chance when Choi get to one big shot, maybe in America, maybe here. And I also introduce to you my friend, I Monk here. Most of people know I Monk. He's my best friend. I Monk is here. Can you call him?
The Iron Monk is here. Ladies and gentlemen, the Mongolian warrior, Choi Tseveenpurev. Gary Logan, a very quick word from you there. He's not always the easiest person to understand, Choi Tseveenpurev, but just put into context how good that man is and how avoided he is around the domestic scene in this country.
You just said it in a nutshell. Nobody wants to fight this guy. 40 years young, that's what I call it. And for the record, I'm 43 on Monday. I'm a few years older than him, but nevertheless, Choi is a phenomenon. I mean, just the speed of his punches, the way he can avoid shots when he chooses to. He's an underrated boxer, and he's a heavy hitter. And unfortunately, these guys, they are going to avoid him unless he becomes #1 contender.
We hope we will be able to bring you that one final shot for Choi in the future here with Hard Knocks Boxing on Premier Sports. When we come back after the break, we will bring you our main event, which is, there was a controversial fight earlier between these two combatants. This one will be interesting. We'll see you in 2 minutes. Hello, welcome back to Your Call for This is Hard Knocks as we approach our main event of the evening. Now, earlier this year, Dave Rocky Ryan and Darren Hamilton met in an eagerly anticipated contest which actually ends up lasting less than a round in quite controversial circumstances. You were here that night, Gary Logan. We expected huge things. A rush of blood from Darren Hamilton cost him on the night. What do we expect to see tonight in this, a bit of a grudge rematch?
Well, I'm expecting Darren to put up a much better show this time. I'm expecting him to be a lot more composed. He's got ability, as he showed when he took the title away from, took the Southern Area title away from Peter McDonough. He's on his night, he's a handful for any light welterweight in the country, including Ryan. But I think Ryan, just in that 1.5 minutes, showed his composure, showed what a solid pro he is. So this is not an easy fight for Darren.
I mean, to put this into context, it was a rush of blood. Darren Hamilton lost the contest for what was a deliberate headbutt. Anyone who watched the Victor Ortiz-Floyd Mayweather fight, it was sort of similar to that, if we're totally honest. Gary, many people will know you as your capacity these days as an MC, but as a man who's challenged for titles, is it possible just to lose your head momentarily and all of a sudden you've been disqualified and lost a fight?
I'll give you a story. I had Dean Powell in my corner when I fought for the British welterweight title in 1995. We trained for 6 weeks to box Dale Bryan, which I thought I could do, we believed we could do. First round I came out, what did I try and do? Try and knock out the most slipperiest man in the game, and I ended up losing the fight. So it happens, you know, the occasion can get to you. It was a night not unlike this, a great crowd, and you know, crowds and atmospheres and lack of experience can make you do crazy things.
Indeed, well, how will the atmosphere get to our two combatants in tonight's main event? The British Masters title is on the line. It's Dave Rocky Ryan versus Darren Hamilton.
3 months ago, Dave Ryan and Darren Hamilton had a war of words that lasted longer than their fight.
I see you boxing with like CP3.
Well, to be fair, I don't think Darren's legs are going to be able to withstand.
It was Ryan's jabs about Darren's legs that had the biggest impact as Darren lost his head. As he put his own on Ryan's, leading to a first round disqualification.
I'd like to apologise deeply to all of the fans that came all the way down from Derby to watch the Dave Ryan Darren Hamilton fight. And I'd like to say you're going to see an absolute change in my mental state and something that will never happen again. Sometimes you've got to make a mistake. Mistakes make you who you are now, and that mistake is definitely made me a calmer and more reserved person.
I see it going my way. I'm going to beat him up. I'm not going to take it early. I'm going to beat him up for a good few rounds first, and then he's having it.
Before his moment of madness, Darren was nearing a British title shot after his superb show against Peter McDonough, earning the Southern Area title. If Hamilton is to make amends this time, he must keep his head.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Southern Area Light Welterweight Champion, Darren Hamilton!
Well, it's the Blues Brothers music for Darren Hamilton. We had the Blues when they met back in the summer when he lost his head and hit Dave Ryan's. But he's back looking for some revenge. And after that sensational effort against Peter McDonough to win the Southern Area title, he's looking to snatch it away from Dave Rocky Ryan this evening. Can he, though, keep his composure?
And now please welcome the British Midlands Area Light Welterweight Champion, Dave Rocky Ryan!
Well, it's a bare pit atmosphere here. Both sets of fans making themselves heard, and there's no doubt that Derby's Dave Rocky Ryan has brought plenty with him ringside to the York Hall this evening. He is the champion, and the truth is, he's never been stopped. And at 140 pounds as a light welterweight, he's never been beaten either. Adam Booth, it's a crackling atmosphere once again.
I think you asked me about the atmosphere, but I can barely hear you, so yes, I'm amazed. I don't know how they get so many people supporting so many different guys all in one hall this size.
Different factions enjoying one night. One winner though coming up for this British Masters light welter title.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. The following contest is for the British Masters Light Welterweight Championship, sponsored by Human Capital and Your Golf Travel. Please welcome, first of all, in the red corner, wearing purple at yesterday's weigh-in, he scaled 9 stone 13 pounds. representing Bristol with a record of 8 wins and 2 defeats. He is the Southern Area Light Welterweight Champion, Darren Hamilton. And across the ring in the blue corner, wearing white and grey, weighing 9 stone 13 pounds, from Derby with a record of 12 wins, just 4 defeats, the reigning Midlands Area Light Welterweight Champion, Dave Rocky Ryan. Your referee for our main event tonight is Jeff Hines.
Right, gentlemen, 10 rounds or less for the title. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves, good luck.
We've got the atmosphere, there's no doubt, Adam, we've got the storyline as well. There's genuinely a bit of needle, there's incentive there as well, and they both look up for it.
Absorbing, this looks absorbing already.
Almost like a sprinter. Out of the blocks, Darren Hamilton in the purple shorts, looking to get on with it.
Well, he has long arms. First thing I noticed about Hamilton is how long his arms are.
He has worked himself, whipped himself into absolute mustard shape as well. He really is cut Hamilton. 33 years old he is now, and he just caught Ryan there with a short right uppercut.
Ryan seemed to run into that one a little bit recklessly. There's a little bit of a mouse under his right eye already as well.
It's a good spot that, Adam. He is marked up under that right eye already. And he's taken a right hand and the knees buckled briefly. And another. There's no doubt Hamilton means business. He said the June fight was an aberration.
That little mouse looks like it's now cut as well.
It was worrying early moments for Dave Ryan. Midway through the opening round, Dave Ryan already marked up under that right eye, and there's a menace and composure about Darren Hamilton this evening.
Hamilton lays down on his right hand side and lays back at the same time, and Ryan's going to have to, when he takes that position, Ryan's going to have to try and reach to get at him, and that's going to make it difficult for him as well. But Hamilton's got long arms, so he can afford to do that and lay back movement.
Well, there's no doubt that this welterweight scene in the domestic situation is very much up for grabs. You've got plenty of fighters who might be looking on elsewhere, and that might just create opportunities for those slightly below, say, British level to start working their way up.
Ryan probably better off staying close, trying to get close and staying close here, because Hamilton's got such long arms. A dangerous attack, but he defended that well. But because Hamilton's got such long arms and he has that lean back move as well, I think Ryan's going to have to get close to him, stay close and do his work close. I think that's where he's going to have some success early on.
And credit Ryan, he's trying to get on the front foot and claim centre ring after that awful start for him. End of the first, blood trickling down the cheek of Dave Ryan, and an assertive opener for Darren Hamilton.
Yeah, I'll give that one to Hamilton. He started well. Ryan came back into it at the very end, but the start of the round and the first half of the round really gave it to Hamilton. I think Ryan needs to get close to him.
Well, it was back in the summer that they met, around about Royal Ascot time. There was no fashion or finery that night, that's for sure. But a statement of intent, I think, from Darren Hamilton. Many might have just questioned whether he had the mental fortitude on the rematch, but he certainly proved that point pretty early on.
In this business, you're only as good as your last fight, and because his last fight was a hot-headed disqualification loss in the first round, that's a logical question to ask, but I think his career is a bit more than that.
Strong jab as well from Hamilton early on, again in the purple shirt.
Ryan's going to have to get close to him. I don't think he's going to have too much success long with this kid. I say kid, I think he's 33 now.
Yes, still kid to you and me, Adam. Oh, big right hand back. Ryan again, staggered backwards. Eye-catching heavy shots coming from Hamilton, but credit Dave Ryan because he is trying to find a way into this fight.
His way into this fight is to get in close to Hamilton. If he stands long, he's not going to find much success, and he's going to end up getting punished every now and again. Bit too static, needs to be close.
He's trying hard to close that gap, just off target with a jab. Jeff Hines getting in between them, a wee bit messy. Both fighters weighed in a pound below the light welter at 139, and they both look in outstanding shape.
I think the vast majority of Hamilton's weight and strength is in his upper body. He's got a very thick, strong-looking upper body and Thomas Hearns-like legs. Long arms, and those long, strong arms are causing all sorts of problems for Ryan at the moment.
Even when he misses with a jab, Hamilton, he's at least landing with a follow-up right.
Got to be careful what he does with his head there.
He's doing enough damage with his fists, there's no doubt about that. Ryan Hamilton just burrowed forward there briefly.
Ryan's having a difficult time in his first couple of rounds. He needs to get through it, but I think more importantly he needs to be that little bit closer to Hamilton. Hamilton's going to be happy and successful at this distance.
Lots of support for Darren Hamilton here this evening. Not quite sure who the Albanians are rooting for, what the Irish are making of it, but there's noise anyway.
They both seem to be a little bit static and a bit tense at the moment. And in that mindset, you end up getting caught with shots. Hamilton just wailing away there, trying to impose something on Ryan.
He's never been stopped, Dave Ryan, and he's looked a stronger, more solid fighter since he stepped down from welterweight, 147 pounds. He lost to Michael Lomax over 6 rounds, former prize fighter winner as well, and challenger for the British title. And a bit of afters as the bell sounded, and it could just be that the nastiness has crept in again.
It seems to be the emotions of the crowd are running quite high at the moment. Clifton Mitchell got involved in a bit of an argument there with someone. Clifton needs to use his experience now and stay focused on his job with Dave Ryan. Ryan actually, towards the very end of that round, Ryan looked a bit more comfortable, and Hamilton seemed to take a long break for no reason towards the end of that round. So putting a little bit of needle now. Ryan needs to keep his composure and get close to Hamilton.
He's won 3 out of 3 since he moved to light welterweight. And Clifton Mitchell once again with the instructions in that corner. Composure, keep your head, I suspect, 2 of the important signals.
Ryan's awkward stumbles at the moment are because somebody like Hamilton is very difficult to get to smooth. He's got an awkward rhythm to try and box against, and so that's why Ryan needs to kid him and slide in long, not stand long like that. If he stands long, he'll get punished.
Stopping right hand there from Hamilton as well, and it just made Dave Ryan drop lower to the canvas. Certainly the meaningful punches, the eye-catching punches coming from Darren Hamilton, the Bristol man.
He's using his attributes. Every now and again he uses those long, strong-looking arms to punish Ryan long. Now this is where Ryan really wants to be. He needs to be there, but not smother his work.
You know, they traded left hooks there up close, and they both went straight back at it.
That's smart pressure from Ryan. Now he's got a creep on. He's got a creep to him.
It looks like he's trying to draw the leads now as well, Dave Ryan. He's just a bit more measured about his movement forward.
They were both quite uptight in the first round, and when you start a fight quite uptight, it can be draining, and you can get more tired than ordinarily you would do. So it's going to be interesting to see who now settles down into the rhythm of this fight. Ryan seems to be quite comfortable at the moment, and proving you wrong, he's having a little bit of success long.
More than midway through the third as well. Inside the final minute of the third round, and luckily for Ryan, that sort of mousy swelling stroke cut hasn't worsened. He's fallen right through the ropes. I think it was more of a push than anything else.
Yeah, the ropes separated a bit too much there, a bit loose, and that's why I ended up falling through.
There's fervent atmosphere, it really is ferocious, and I guess the fighters have use that encouragement but not get sucked up too much in it. Rocky goes up the chant. I think we've heard that before. Now this is as partisan as it gets. Good straight right again from Hamilton.
He stood too static there. He stood too static and got caught with a long shot. He needs to keep a little rhythm to his movement and then try and creep closer. A good round.
It was a good round. And slightly better as well from Dave Ryan. Did you give the first two to Hamilton? How are you scoring it?
Well, we are allowed to give them even rounds. They kind of nullified each other there, but if I'm honest, the work I remember in that round are the shots that Hamilton landed. Even though Ryan looked a bit more settled, I remember Hamilton's work more. So although they're close rounds, I still have Hamilton 3-0 up.
It's been an amazing story. It is essentially a come from the gutter story for Darren Hamilton as well. He was sleeping rough for a year and a half in the gym, nowhere to go, lacking direction before earlier this spring when he stopped Peter McDonough. What a scalp that was on his record, and it's given him the appetite to go forward, and he's showing that appetite this evening.
Yeah, I've worked with Peter McDonough, and Peter knows his way around the boxing ring, and he gives champions real difficult problems. So to stop Peter is an excellent win.
Lee Purdy, no less. And early in Purdy's career did McDonough, Michael Gomez towards the end as well. Curtis Woodhouse not so long ago. Adam's absolutely spot on. That's a really good name on the record of Darren Hamilton.
Not just that either, but to stop Peter. Now I didn't see the fight, but just to have a stoppage win over Peter McDonough is very impressive, because I think the only other time he's been stopped is on a cut. I've worked with Peter and I've seen him spar with heavy guys, and he's a durable kid. But that's not his problem tonight. His problem tonight is Dave Ryan.
Indeed, and Ryan, after a rocky start, excuse the pun, trying to find his way back in. That right hand might just give him some confidence.
Yeah, even though he lost the last round, he seemed to settle into it, and he's definitely finding a bit of a competitive rhythm now.
Yeah, so he looks more relaxed, doesn't he?
And that's the start for him, but that's only the start. He still needs to land his shots. I think Hamilton looks like he's feeling the pace a little bit in this round.
Well, Adam mentioned those Hearns-esque spindly legs, and you just wonder if it comes down to it, strength, stamina, in the later rounds whether that's going to be an issue at all.
Yeah, Ryan's finding a way in. There's still not much in it, but he certainly looks more comfortable than he did at the start.
Swinging away on the ropes in the far side as we head inside the final minute of the fourth. And another enthralling contest this.
Yeah, Hamilton's loading up here a little bit in those shots now. Spending a lot of energy.
Just wondering exactly where Dave Ryan needs to be in terms of distance. It looks like he's not sure whether to close the gap or try and draw the leads.
Yeah, I think you're boxing long. He really needs Hamilton to make a mistake because Hamilton's long arms are giving him a problem. He needs to find a distance closer to Hamilton where he can get his shots off. At the moment, they're nullifying each other long and smothering each other short.
Maybe a scrappier fourth, but most of the effort seems to be coming from Dave Ryan.
I agree there, yeah. But again, you still have to turn that effort into success.
Not too much landed in the fourth. Maybe Dave Ryan might just have got his first real significant points on the board.
I'm going to sit on the fence on that one and score that even.
Well, Harry Andrews in the corner of Darren Hamilton. He was trying to get into the venue some 4 or so hours ago when I arrived quite early. He was all business, looking to set up and get prepared and very much ready to settle his man into the evening. Well, he settled early in the fight itself. It may just be that Dave Ryan sees the door slightly ajar.
Hamilton's eager to get this round started as well.
Well, young and old, we're all here this evening in Bethnal Green. And Jeff Hines just having a word with Dave Ryan.
It's a bit harsh because I think that Hamilton did something at the end of one of the earlier rounds and didn't get told off in the same manner. So a bit unfair on Ryan there.
Jeff Hines looking after our top of the bill. British Masters title at stake here. And given the fact you've got Nigel Wright, English champion,